I'm a volunteer for the armyofgod.com website, which is an anti-abortion website that honors people who have saved unborn babies by physically stopping abortion, for which they have either gone to jail or are still in jail. I volunteer by answering emails which come to the website, which web host Don Spitz either lacks the time or the interest to answer. Here's an email from Michael Manor. He says, I support you. Just how are you able to openly do this and not be arrested? So I answered, Hi, I'm Dave Leach from Des Moines, a volunteer for the armyofgod.com website. Fascinating question. Fascinating partly because it may say something about the forgotten boundaries of freedom of speech in America. May I take a guess that to ask this question you are fairly young? Because when I was young, it was popular saying that I may not agree with what you say, but I will defend to the death your right to say it. The John Peter Zenger case, somewhere around 1734, established freedom of the press even when it's used to insult the royal governor. That was half a century before America broke from the king, who personally appointed governors. The judge said Zenger's articles were libel, or in other words, really insulting. He ruled that it made no difference whether they were true. He said, the truth is not a defense against libel. It's still libel even if it's true. The jury thought otherwise, and the rest is history, and newspapers in America are free from lawsuits to this day unless it can be proved that the reporter knew the character assassination was not true and deliberately lied, which is very hard to prove. Now, Don Spitz, webmaster of armyofgod.com, and I, who publish Prayer and Action News and saltshaker.us, we are members of the media by several measures. We publicly state what we believe to be true, even if liars take it personally and feel insulted. We could still be prosecuted for inciting to violence, but can you see how that would incriminate just about everyone who ever criticized someone if the definition is not narrowed down? Somewhere around 1967, there was a Ku Klux Klan case about inciting to violence. It was decided that such a charge applies only if violence follows a speech by an hour or less. That is, the U.S. Supreme Court decided that. Now, considering how few follow our lead, Don Spitz and I, it's going to be a long time before that happens to us. Now, in Don's case, the closest he comes is to calling those who have saved the lives of babies heroes. In my case, I publicly analyzed the defenses in American law for taking such action. Although since 18 U.S.C. 1841d was passed in 2004, my emphasis has been on convincing state lawmakers that they have the legal tools to end legal abortion. See saltshaker.us/slic/nogreenerlight.pdf. To prevail against us in court, the prosecutor would have to prove our statements are not true. They can't. The case would educate the public that we are right, and the public would rise up and end legal abortion and the career of every pro-murder politician. Public ignorance is maintained by courts not addressing these arguments. To understand that, see my video series called Trial by Jury, posted at saltshaker.us/scott-roeder-resources.htm. Now, the other way we could be prosecuted would be for conspiracy, which would be the case had we helped someone take violence. We will never do that because we are so watched that we assume our every word is on some prosecutor's to-do list. In America, it's still possible to tell the truth and be safe from prosecution, especially when you can back it up so well that no one seriously tries to refute you, but only to curse you. However, this freedom has slipped a lot in the last 50 years. Its purpose is being forgotten. I hope the coming generations will see what a treasure it is, the jewel of the world, and will rise up to defend the value of stating the truth, even when that infuriates political power. For example, even when the truth before you is what the Quran really says about how to treat unbelievers. Or if the truth before you is the mortality rate for sodomy because of its obvious unsanitary practices, a connection observed in Romans 1. Or if the truth before you is the legally, morally, and biblically inexcusable violence of abortion.